Well, look, the Chief Minister is the person responsible for assigning ministerial responsibilities. It's an issue that I've been discussing closely with the Deputy Chief Minister since before the budget. We knew where we wanted the government to be by budget time and by December, and we're very lucky that the government is exactly where we want it to be in terms of performance. There isn't any major issue where we think that we've failed to deliver and we won't be able to deliver, and therefore we also had to take a view of where we wanted the government to be in the next 12 to 15 months, which is when an election is due. And this is what the reshuffle is about. It's about honing the ministerial team to be the best possible team to end the process of delivery under the existing manifesto and be ready to fight the next general election.
Well, you've said that there are no winners and losers in this reshuffle and that all the ministers are keeping part of their portfolio and taking on other responsibilities. But I think one eye-catching measure that most of the newsmen outside number 6 this morning have been commenting is the fact that Mr. Bossano is no longer in employment.
Well, hang on. Mr. Bossano is very much in employment.
The employment ministry.
What you mean is he's not in the employment ministry. But look, Joe Bossano has done an incredible job in the employment ministry. He's taken Gibraltar from a crisis situation of 1,200 unemployed, which Daniel Feetham disclosed during the course of the last general election campaign when he calculated how much the future job strategy would be worth, saying it was going to be worth 12 million a year at £10,000 per individual. That meant there were 1,200 people unemployed, down to 269 unemployed today, which is almost a record low. So Joe Bossano's record is absolutely fantastic. Nothing short of brilliant in the employment ministry. But if you look at what I'm asking him to do now, it's exactly what Joe is brilliant at. In unemployment and dealing with labor, those were the issues that he was always excellent at because, of course, of his trade union background. But the other side of Joe Bossano, the side that has actually really been responsible for delivering to us the economy that Gibraltar has today, the man who turned Gibraltar around in 1988 from having to borrow to pay recurrent expenditure and from its dependence on the MOD to being freestanding and being able to pay its way in the world, that's the economic side of Joe Bossano's brief. And that's why I've asked him now to take on responsibility for economic development, because Gibraltar is very prosperous today. Our public finances are strong and sound. Our economy is strong and firing on all cylinders. But that is today. And what I want to do is to prepare Gibraltar not just for the immediate issues that may face us, but also for the long-term issues that may face us. And asking Joe Bossano to take economic development on at the moment. The last year of this government, the last 12 to 15 months of this government, is to really give him the opportunity to work with me in my Ministry for Finance to develop that future economic plan for Gibraltar and where we are going.
You've said that all the ministers have done an excellent job. It almost begs the question, why move them?
Well, because I am a Chief Minister who is lucky enough to have a deck of 9 aces available. And when you have 9 aces available, you have the liberty of moving people around as you see where their performance and their character can actually better be placed with other responsibilities, or you can match up existing responsibilities with others because they might be a better fit. I am very lucky to have that deck of 9 aces. I think that's why we won the last general election. There's a lot of talent that sits around this cabinet table, and I think that's why we win the next election too.
And from the endorsement that you've given to all of your ministers, I take it that if the GSLP and the Liberals both select the same candidates that you have now in government, you'll be more than pleased.
Look, for me, it's a privilege that the GSLP asks me to lead the party. From there, I'm available to lead whichever group of candidates the GSLP executive and then the GSLP general meeting endorses. We are a democratic party. I take nothing for granted, not even my position on the slate or my leadership. That always has to go to the membership. If they're happy, they return me. If they're happy with those who have been executing their obligations as ministers, as elected members, they will be returned. If the executive takes a different view, look, in 12 to 15 months' time, that's not a question for today. It's a question for then. Then the democratic process that my party runs and the parallel democratic process that the Liberal Party runs will produce the team and the slate that is put to you at the time of the next general election. I'm very confident that with the sort of performance that you've seen to date, it will be very difficult for anybody to challenge the GSLP Liberals for government in the next 12 to 15 months.